Since its founding in 1980, thousands of teens have started their journey home from drug and alcohol addiction at Daybreak Youth Services, where caring staff place a priority on each client's unique emotional, social, and spiritual needs.
I thank Daybreak for that so much because I've came so far, and I didn't have faith in me that I would be able to, or hope that I would be able to come this far.
I don't want to be the same as I was, you know, and I've learned a lot since I've been there. They showed a lot of care, you know, and my counselor was just like another mom, you know, that just really cared about me.
The treatment process at Daybreak is focused on intense group therapy, classroom studies geared towards restarting sometimes stalled schoolwork, and life skills that bring a reliable, predictable routine to lives disrupted by addiction.
We have a lot of good structure to help them know how to go to bed, how to get up in the morning, just how to go through your day, how to connect with counselors, with teachers, recreation professionals, learn a great deal of skills. And oftentimes skills are the very thing that they don't have.
Recreational opportunities and life skills development show young people the freedom and joy of a life lived without drugs or alcohol. But a combination of forces mean too many Washington teens struggling with drug, alcohol, and mental health issues do not have access to help. Current estimates indicate thousands need inpatient treatment in Washington. With only 220 inpatient residential beds in the state, life-saving beds are in critically short supply. The shortage is most critical in the western half of the state, where there are only 58 treatment beds for teens on the I-5 corridor from the Canadian border to the Oregon border. Wait times average 45 days, putting teens at a greater risk for overdose, incarceration, death, and suicide.
Our primary mission is treatment for adolescents, both mental health and drug and alcohol treatment. Secondly, because the disease we work with is so hard to understand and has such a stigma in our society, education is important for the kids, the families, and our community in general. So that's our second role, is to educate about that disease. And finally, as advocates for these adolescents, because they have very few advocates.
But more than a decade of research and planning has led to this, a 30,000 square foot former church in rural Clark County north of Vancouver. A space big enough for 58 gender-specific treatment beds, detox and mental health beds, classrooms, recreational facilities, a commercial-sized kitchen, and chapel. It will be the first of its kind in Washington.
Creating a place where they can come, where they're in crisis, where we can get them stabilized, and then transition them into chemical dependency treatment at a duration of stay that is appropriate to their needs, is going to be a tremendous asset to all of the kids in the state of Washington.
A new, larger facility will replace a severely cramped, outdated 16-bed inpatient treatment center for boys in Vancouver. It will supplement an existing 40-bed inpatient treatment center for girls in Spokane, while expanding Daybreak's ability to treat young people with more complex addiction and mental health conditions.
I know that every day in the state of Washington, just to take our state, there are kids dying every day. And I want to make a difference here so we can get this done and we can start to save lives. There's a clock that's running, and as we lose these kids, there's an impact, there's an urgency to get this done, and we can actually measure that in lives.
In the same way Daybreak clients work together in groups to better understand and overcome the challenges of addiction, Daybreak today needs your help, the help of a community with a capital campaign to increase treatment capacity and reduce needless drug overdose deaths.
When I look back on Daybreak, I see it as a story, and it's a story about people and people that received the call, and so it's an ongoing, unfinished story.
Be part of the next chapter of the Daybreak Youth Services story. Be part of the Help the Children Capital campaign to ensure families can continue to rely on Daybreak Youth Services. Teens, treatment, transformation. Daybreak Youth Services.